Are you guys ready for the greatest sporting event ever created? Welcome to March Madness once again, guys. My name is College Sports Survived, and today, Coach Carter's Fordham Rams will take their 4th seed into Season 5's NCAA tournament and see if they can finally dance for the first time in school history. And they'll have a pretty good shot at that as well, thanks to a favorable draw from the selection committee. Fordham is your West Region 4th seed, squaring off against Army West Point, the same school that Damian Carter actually attended in real life. So that's definitely going to be fun today to watch how he plays against his alma mater. The Black Knights are also trying to earn their first win in March in the program's history as well, so it's got to happen for somebody today. Fordham enters the tournament hot, well deserving of this 4th seed as they scaled their way through the gauntlet we call the A10 tournament. Remember, the A10 has leveled up in this series, sending 7 members to the dance this year and practically becoming a major conference in terms of talent, so our Rams definitely earned this seed. And if you have a superhero level memory, you may remember one of the hosts for Selection Sunday last episode claiming the West region as his toughest side of the bracket, and I can't argue one bit there. Michigan won the Big Ten and only lost 5 games this year. There's also 3 other A10 rivals within the division for us to potentially deal with. We also played and beat Pepperdine this year. And finally, the favorite to win the region, the 30-win, 3-loss Kentucky Wildcats. I know we have a decent role to begin our journey, but man, it won't take long for things to heat up for us. So now it's time to meet these Army Black Knights, who have one of the more tame resumes in the entire field. Under 60 points a game on offense. They also don't shoot that well from the charity stripe or the field, and they also don't get much production outside of their top player, which all of that is not normally a successful March Madness recipe. However, what makes college hoops so special is your season never being dead. They won the Patriot League thanks to the Lafayette Leopards, the top seed, getting upset in the semis, who only had 1 conference loss. And then they beat the team who did the upsetting, Bucknell. If Fordham just shows up and do what they need to do, then, and kind of play their way, I think they're going to advance. There's no signature win on their resume that scares me. There's no team stat that worries us. We just need to contain their only weapon, 6'8" senior Dane Blair. He's a constant threat from inside the arc. He's only shooting 29% from 3, but he's 53% this year inside the line. He's on scholarship to, yes, serve the country, but he's mainly here to score. So we're going to need Pat Park to limit a top scorer once again. Isaiah Strong is the second leading scorer, who's their only real 3-point threat. We're going to task Damian with defending him. So we've waited a long time for this moment, nearly 60 episodes in the making, countless games, and 2 heartbreaking March Madness losses. And as favorites for the first time, Coach Carter and his group of guys have no more excuses. They have to get it done this time. No more underdog narrative. They are expected to win and even make a run. So let's see if they can handle the pressures of that. It's one thing to be an underdog and, have nothing to lose, but it's another thing to have that expectation and that bar to meet for the first time with all eyes on you. That goes for Coach Carter and his group of guys today. I also wanted to say my bad, guys, for the delay getting this video out because I've been swamped at work. I also coach and play basketball outside of work. I play in a league and I coach a high school team. I'm on the staff, so it's definitely been, tough to have time to do anything else recently. I've either been sleeping, eating, playing basketball, coaching basketball, or working for all week. So that's that's been my life for a while, and that's how I like it. But it's just hard to be able to do anything else sometimes. But we're back here in the Honda Center. The West region has gotten underway here in Season 5, and Lloyd Hicks wins the tip and tries to deliver assist on our first possession to Kaya Hendry, but it's off the mark. A good look, though. Expect to see a lot of zone from these Army Black Knights. Ever since we acquired Lloyd Hicks through recruiting, it seems like a lot of teams, that's their number one way to defend us with that 2-3 zone. Dane Blair, though, this is the guy to watch out for as Kaya Hendry goes under the screen, and Dane Blair will hit you with jumpers all day long if you do that, but a rare 3 for him. He's only hit 29% on the year, and then Bennett Pinkala with a bad turnover right at the timeline. Nangardi to Gardner, their point guard, kicks it out to Isaiah Strong, the southpaw. 6 unanswered points for the Army Black Knights. Meanwhile, the Fordham Rams have a field goal and a turnover to their name. Are we going to score for our first time here? Damian Carter for 3 against his alma mater. Let's go. Didn't take long for Damian to want to make a statement against the school he went to in real life. 8-5 game now, trying to overcome this slow start. Definitely didn't think that Army would be coming out of the blocks this fast, especially on the offensive end, but they've already posted double-digit points in only 2 minutes. Isaiah Strong, a 6'4 senior, he was actually their leading scorer in the Bucknell win whenever they topped them to win the Patriot League and punch their ticket. It's 2 personals though here now. Look at Pat Park reaching in on Dane Blair. So Blair already has our best defender in foul trouble. You see Nick Jal at the bottom right of your screen. He's checking into the scorers table right now. So Pat Park is going to have a pretty short first half with 2 personals early on here. So not only are we struggling on offense, but on defense as well, as we give up yet another layup and our best on-ball guy on that side of the floor. We'll have to check out here. Coach Carter burns an early one, very unlike him, as the Black Knights, the 13th seed here in the West, have Fordham on the ropes early. Definitely didn't expect this. Fordham coming out a little flat-footed. They're just coming off 2 of their best offensive days of the entire season, especially that semifinal win against Dayton. That was one of the best offensive games we've seen them play all series long. But how about a spark from Lloyd Hicks? Look at this right here. Out on the break, punching it down on top of a poor Army defender. That is 6'4 freshman Armand Scott, their 6th man. Oh my goodness, no chance. Why are you even trying to block that or contest that dunk? You gotta just let him go at that point, you'd think, right? Well, Kai Hendry with the deflection and Lloyd Hicks with the huge dunk. And he gets a deflection of his own on the next possession. Let's continue to fast break. Carter to Nick Jallo, the new entry into the game. Nick Jallo had some nice games there in the A10 tournament. And that awesome Dayton Flyers win, he was 5 of 6 from the field, 10 points, all from mid-range. He's starting to gel real nice here with the rest of these guys. Niall Gardner here on this possession. Look at this. Awesome offensive set there by the Army Black Knights. Armand Scott, great pass to the high post. That's Thomas Nangardi, a 6'9 junior who plays small forward for them. 7 points and 1 block on his junior year. And now look at Army. They're trying to slow us down a little bit. Playing one-on-one full court. They got the early turnover against Bennett Pincala doing this, but Damian Carter presents a different threat back there. Ooh, couldn't get the 3, but we do recover. And Bennett Pincala, nice assist there to the mid-range specialist, Nick Jallo. If they're going to pressure us one-on-one, our guys are quicker, are stronger, so we need to be able to take care of that and take advantage, just like we did there. I like the shot, even though it didn't go in, by Nick Jallo. 5:15 to go here in the first half. Jallo, nice 2-man game between him and Damian. Can't get it to drop, though. And, oh, no, look at this. Army has numbers. Niall Gardner, the point guard, double clutches, can't finish. The defense starting to come around. They only have 1 point in the last 8 minutes. And we get a nice fast break stop there. Flashy pass inside. Great extra look by Junior to Bennett. Bennett Pincala's been recovering nicely ever since that early turnover. And talk about covering in a big way. Fordham now on a huge run. We'll head to a timeout, but ever since the last one, they've went on a 13-2 spurt right here. Let's see if they can keep it up. We'll be back in a sec. I'm sure if this wasn't a March Madness game, Pat Park would probably sit for the entire first half, but we have to have our best guys out there. He's playing with 2 fouls. Kai Hendry breaking down the zone. Pat Park back inside. Lloyd Hicks met with another double. Pat Park, foot on the line, can't get it to drop, but Lloyd Hicks, they just don't have anybody to match up down there. Another timeout by Army. They do have some size down there, the Black Knights. They have 7'1" freshman Shima Poli, 6'9" junior Thomas Nangardi. You saw him make a basket earlier. And then they also have 7-footer off the bench Wayne Hartman, who sees some time here and there. So they have some guys, the height at least, as here's Wayne Hartman trying to body him up there on the layup, but Lloyd Hicks, great job staying vertical, who grabs his 4th rebound, and Pat Park wants to join in on the fun. He's been super quiet so far, radio silence, not no more though. Puts on the cross and dunks it down with authority. I think Fordham's at their best when they fast break, but, pick their spots to do it. But today, I want them to just go turn this into a track meet. We're so much more faster than these guys and so much more skilled on the break. Kai Hendry, though, finding some half-court success there. His first field goal since nearly the beginning of the game. And that was also a nice pass there by Bennett Pinkala. His vision has been awesome over the last couple weeks. 8 seconds to go. Army still in this game, though, only down by 4. And they can make it a one-score game if Armand Scott makes this layup, and he does. Beautiful finger roll finish. You don't see Damian Carter get beat off the dribble like that, but the baby cross got his hips turned, and Scott, nice job on the layup there. So Fordham enters the break up by a bucket. And ever since that 16-7 run by Army to enter the game, Fordham has bounced back very nicely. Army has 2 guys with 9 points, and it's the guys you'd expect, Blair and Isaiah Strong. Lloyd Hicks leads our side of things with 8 and 4, got to use him more. And Damian Carter, only 1 field goal, and he's got 7 points and 3 assists. He's been controlling the game, and he's barely taken any shots. It's really special game Damian's putting together against his alma mater. Nick Jallo also came in, provided some good relief for Pat Park in his foul trouble. So far, I mean, not bad. We bounced back really nicely from 16-7. Can't get, pressured on ourselves and overthink this because it's a 14 seed that's hanging in. We gotta just keep playing our game and we'll separate. First course of business, though, gotta try to stop Dane Blair on defense, and on offense, try to get Kai Hendry and Pat Park going. Welcome back to March Madness first round action here in Season 5. The 13 seed from the Patriot League hanging in with Fordham, and they have yet another tie game seconds into the second half. Really impressive game from Army, even though we've been winning the last 10 or so minutes. As Kai Hendry, got to get him going, man. Him and Pat Park, they didn't really have great games in the A10 championship against George Washington. Both of them were a little bit quiet, which made it all the more impressive that we were able to get it done without our 2 top scorers on the year. But how about this on defense? We contest Dane Blair perfectly, but he knocks another one down. Pat Park, he just can't do nothing about that one. Oh man, that's one of those good offense just triumphs good defense moments. 12:23 left to go. Army with the lead and the orange. This one inside to the 7-footer Shima Pulley. Gives it over to Dane Blair, who scores yet again. He's got a quick 6 points out of the gate. And look at this, another quick timeout by Coach Carter. Momentum again building just like it did to begin the game. Let's see if we can fix what we need to fix. You can't fault Pat Park at all, man. He had a great defense on that first one, and then that last one was just Dane Blair being Dane Blair. He's a wizard inside the arc. As we run this set, there we go, up and under move, Kai Hendry, and 1. Dane Blair not the only one starting out the second half with a vengeance. We also have Kai Hendry, who's got 6 out of his 10 points after he makes the free throw here in the second half already. So that's what I'm talking about. Lloyd Hicks doubled high post. Pat Park, looks like he thought about it, but he did not put up that shot. I wonder if his confidence is a little bit rattled here in March, perhaps. Lloyd Hicks again trapped. Kai Hendry, again! He hits again! He's got another triple, up to 13 now. What a shot there. Kai and Pat, both only 3 for 9 in the championship game. Well, Kai Hendry is trying to turn it around. I wonder if Pat Park will get inspired and follow suit. Under 9 to play. Still a 42-42 game. Good pass inside. Damian Carter, nice look to the short corner. He's got his 4th assist. And Pat Park has his 3rd field goal. That's what I'm talking about. I think limiting their star players and getting our star players going, that's got to be the key here in the second half. And we just can't do it right now. Pat Park, I don't know how he didn't get a hand on that entry pass, but Blair scores again. He's only missed 1 shot in the game, and their point guard Gardner has his 6th assist. But no doubt about that one, man. Pat Park maybe getting a little bit tired of Dane Blair and his antics there on the offensive end. No hesitation there. The 13 seed, though, still hanging around. We see this a lot in March every year. These underdogs, they just find a way to keep it competitive. But man, Mountain Lloyd Hicks, so much attention brought his way. Great kick out to guess who? Nick Jallo. I don't think I've seen him miss a mid-range in weeks now, probably. And how about Junior Battle? Great defense underneath. Just because the scoring hasn't been there for Junior Battle recently as much as it was a couple weeks ago, doesn't mean he's still not playing good minutes off the bench every game. 6 to play now, up by 8. Armand Scott dribbles off of Kai Hendry's leg. He picks it up, and he's got no one to stop him. 2 more for number 44. Hendry's really turned into one of the best closers we've ever had on this channel, and it's great to see the development of his game because he struggled in big-time games as a freshman. Well, now he's an upperclassman, and he's primed for these big games. He's had a couple huge ones these last 2 seasons, including this one, as Dane Blair, he makes yet another field goal, but nobody has helped him out though, and that's the reason why the scoreboard has turned in the way it has. Damian Carter with assist number 6 to give us our first double-digit lead, and this one was a beauty from both guys. Damian Carter with the bounce pass to lead Pat Park to where he needed to be, and of course Pat Park with the body control, with the soft touch that had everything there on that play. 4:12 to go. Fordham, even though only up by 8, you got to feel like they're in the driver's seat now. Pat Park to Hendry. Ooh, he thought about it. Can Pat Park create something for him? It looks like he's done just that. Kaya Hendry, book it again. 23 now, as his box score continues to explode here in the second half. Oh my goodness, what a game. Man, we have just something with undersized 2 guards, don't we? Because back at UT Martin, our first legacy mode with Coach Carter, we had Jacques Diggs, who was only 5'9", but he put up a couple huge games in March in that series. And now the 6'1" Kai Hendry doing the same thing. And if there was any doubt on how much Fordham wants this game, check out this play right here. Tipped going up by Pat Park. And Lloyd Hicks goes headlong to save this one and cradles it like it was his firstborn child. It gets it right to his boy, Pat Park. And the bench and Coach Carter loving the hustle there. That's going to earn you a lot of respect in the locker room. Oh, man. If there was any doubt how much Fordham wanted this win, well, I think that play just cemented it right there. And how fitting that the final point scored in our first ever March Madness victory here at Fordham is scored by the man who played, or rather attended, Army West Point in real life, Damian Carter. No more time left on the clock. Let's go. Buzzer sounds. Game over. The Fordham Rams dance into the next round of Season 5's NCAA tournament. Man, what a feeling. After a triple overtime loss to Michigan State back in year 3 and a buzzer beating loss to Syracuse a year ago, our resiliency, our makeup, our character, all tested, but Coach Carter and his Rams were not going to let this one slip away. It's time to dance, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope the wait was worth it. Oh man, what a feeling, what a moment, as Coach Carter has done it again, but the job is not done. We have more basketball left to play, but it's time to celebrate for the moment, and it's pretty awesome that Kai Hendry had the game that he had. Early on in his career, like I said, he struggled in big-time games. I'm pretty sure he went 1 for 10 in that Michigan State loss, but a statement like this, 20 second-half points, man, what a show. Damian can't be overlooked either. It takes a special type of player to be able to dominate and control a game as well as he did while only taking 3 shots from the field. That's just so amazing. Pat Park did his game, Pinkala did his share as well. Lloyd Hicks had some moments as well. And seemingly every game we have a breakout bench player. Today it was Nick Jallo, the mid-range assassin. I knew he was going to be an awesome addition when he transferred from Oregon State 2 years ago. I hope some of his folks made the trip down here to California, here at the Honda Center, to see him ball out today. What a game from Dane Blair as well. He was really impressive. He probably got looks from bigger schools. I'd be surprised if he didn't. Only 1 missed shot and 25 on the night in his final collegiate game. Isaiah Strong also played a big role as well. Really respectable effort, but they just didn't have enough talent to keep them around for the entirety of the game. But if you thought the action was done there for today, you'll have to guess again, because we're about to be showing off some highlights of the St. Louis versus UW Milwaukee game. That's right, guys. As long as we keep winning, I'll keep watching the other game above or below us at the end of the episode, and I'll let the game determine who our next opponent will be, and I'll show it in that very episode. I think that'll be a ton of fun and way better than just letting it simulate and watching a score pop up. Plus, I want to get the scouting report on our potential matchup. Sure, we know St. Louis, but we don't know Wisconsin-Milwaukee like that, with their best player being Elijah Connolly, a junior. They have a lot of upperclassmen on the team, so a lot of guys that have played together for plenty of years. Only one underclassman gets to see the starting lineup. I'm going to present this game in a little bit of a faster, fashion than I do normally. We'll have some ESPN highlights going on in the background. It's time to get started, guys. Who are we going to play in the second round? Let's get started. And it wouldn't take long for the Panthers' top player, Elijah Connolly, to get started out of the gates fast. He's got 7 out of their first 9 points. He's their highest overall player at 80. He starts at the 2-guard for him, and here he is again doing some dirty work down low as well. He's almost outscoring the Billikens just by himself. It's later on in the game now, 8:43 left to go in the first half. That is Josh Puente missing from 3. You guys know him and Deontay Culver very well. They're 2 top players for St. Louis. We've seen them a lot, but they can't stop Money Man Connolly. He's the reason why they were in control here early on in the ball game. 29-22 now, 4:13 left to go. The Billikens are still treading water, but definitely not their best first half of play. But this is a huge shot there by talented underclassman Quincy Abrams, who led their recruiting class just a couple years ago, a guy who would start on a lot of other teams. As checking back in, we see Deontay Culver coming back in for the Billikens, and he's matching up with you-know-who, Elijah Connolly, and he gets deep into his bag of tricks. Crossover inside, off the glass for 2. Connolly with 13. They just can't stop him. St. Louis has had a history in this series of just not showing up in postseason play, whether that being the conference tournament or the NCAA tournament. I really thought that this would be the year that they were going to overcome that. Well, it's not looking so hot right now for them. Connolly, what a shot. I need to see this one back in replay mode. 2 minutes to go, and the Panthers are up by 8 again, thanks to this awesome play by Money Man himself, Elijah Connolly. The 6'4" junior gets 2 more, and I don't know if you saw him in the background, but the St. Louis coach beside himself right now. The 12-seed Panthers with the 5-seed on the ropes. That one goes, though, finally for Culver. He's had a good game himself, but just not a lot of help for him so far as that one rattles and drops. So at halftime, St. Louis does, break the ice a little bit, and they start to slowly work their way back into this one. 37-36 now, high post. That's their point guard, Chester Settergren, without a basket so far until now. That is a huge shot there. Man, if they got other guys who are having career nights from 3, along with the output from Connolly, I think this Panthers team is about to take control and everything going their way. Josh Puente blocking the shot of Stephon Brady. Their starting 4, their only underclassman in the starting 5, but he gets it right back and puts it in for 2. And that kind of sums up the second half here for the Billikens. They get a big basket there by 7-footer Jay Feeney, the only real size they have inside. But Settergren, handoff, crossover, inside. They can't stop the Panthers. Benitez for 2, and the Panthers still stay in control. About a minute later, still up by 13. This one's a turnover forced by Settergren. The point guard scanning the floor. Goes middle. Ball reversal. Let's see. Come on, Panthers. What do you got? What do you got that we haven't seen yet? How about Settergren all the way to the cup, leaving Jess Delfico, the hot shot point guard for the Billikens. The sniper from 3 in the dust. Once again, the trend of the Billikens not showing up in this series and playoff time just continues. They've had early exits in the A10 tournament, including this year. They've had early exits in March Madness with high expectations. That continues as they get ran out of the gym here in the second half. 83-63 is your final, with Connolly dropping 25 on the Billikens. Oh man, what a game. So the Fordham Rams will be facing the 12-seed Milwaukee Panthers in the second round. They won't have to worry about facing off against a conference opponent, at least for the time being. Who knows if that might happen in the future. What a game, not only from Connolly, but from the 2 bigs for Milwaukee as well. They combined for 23 rebounds, their starting bigs. Meanwhile, Culver, 4 for 16. He had a nightmare second half, and Josh Puente was a little bit silent as well. So we will face UW Milwaukee in the round of 32. as we take a look at the rest of the bracket. So starting with the number 1 overall seed, Seton Hall takes care of business. Charlotte wins against Clemson. A nice game from Don Blaylock and Tony Borders in their own rights. Virginia Tech will play Gonzaga as the first upset is made by the 13 seed there. Everything else though in the West looking pretty normal. As we scroll down here to the West Regional, our bracket, everything else looking pretty good. Close game there between Washington and Marshall. However, we will face the winner of Michigan and Duke here as UMass goes down by 13 at the hands of the Blue Devils. Not a lot of offense there for them. Louisville will face Kansas in what should be an awesome game there, and the South region as Kansas almost lost to North Carolina there. Not a lot of upsets so far. We've had a lot of Cinderella stories here over the course of the legacy mode. Boise State should have beat Stanford in that one, but the Cardinal, they reign victorious and skate by there with some luck on their side. St. Joe's wins over Cal, so there goes another A10 team winning a ball game in the first round. Kashin Badiane with 27-8. I remember back in one of the first recruiting classes of this series, I wanted to get him, but I couldn't, and he signed with crosstown rival St. Joe's. Moving down here in the last region, again, not really many upsets. Dayton, they steamrolled Sacramento State. Somehow they got a better seed than we did. But all in all, we can't focus on them. Got to focus on ourselves as we're going to face Milwaukee in the second round and try to extinguish the flame of Eliza Connolly and company. It's going to be an awesome game. I know they're only a 12 seed, but you can't take them for granted. Everyone knows what the calendar says. Everyone knows that anyone can get beat on any night. So just got to continue to play our game and do the things that we need to do and the things that made us successful today. And if we win that game, we'll be facing either Duke or Michigan. So that will be a pretty crazy Sweet 16. So let's see if we can avoid an upset and continue to dance here in Season 5's March Madness. So I'll see you guys then. Stay tuned for that here on College Sports Revived.